So overall, there was a significant amount of improvement seen in the post-assessment. The passing percentage rate went from 45% in the pre-assessment all the way to 85% in the post-assessment. And out of the 85% that passed, 80% of those students passed with full mastery. There were 5 students, including Frederick, Sandra, Enrique, Peter, and Suzanne, who initially scored with full mastery on the pre-assessment, and they all ended up scoring higher on the post-assessment. So they seem to have benefited from the enrichment and the above group instruction, so I'm pretty satisfied. Lisa and Tori scored the same on the post-assessment as they did on the pre-assessment. I'm still satisfied with these scores, but I will continue to provide more enrichment activities for these 2 students so that I can eventually see some improvements. So only 2 students, Daniel and Lynn, scored lower on the post-assessment than the pre-assessment. They scored perfectly on the pre-assessment and they only missed 2 points on the post-assessment. So perhaps the enrichment group did not work as well with them. I'm going to try to use some different enrichment activities with them to see if that makes any difference. So moving on, there were 7 students, including John, Amber, Jana, Francis, Leslie, James, and Samantha. These 7 students started off on the cusp or below expectations in the pre-assessment. However, all of these students improved drastically and they scored with full mastery in the post-assessment. I am very pleased with these results, as it seems that the below group mini lesson was very beneficial for these students. Beth, another student who was far below expectations in the pre-assessment, ended up passing the post-assessment with progressing as expected. I'm also very pleased with this improvement, and it seems that the below group mini lesson benefited her as well. So only 3 students didn't pass, but they still made some improvements. Both Joy and Anita started off far below expectations during the pre-assessment, but they ended up scoring on the cusp for the post-assessment. I'm very satisfied with their improvement, but they will still need further below group interventions. Tracy is the only student who is still below expectations, but her score did still improve by 2 points. So Tracy will need the highest level of below group intervention. But overall, I feel like the class did a really great job. And as I said earlier, the passing rate went from 45% all the way to 85%, so there's a lot of improvement. But of course, there are still a few students who need some extra help. So I'm going to have to work on improving the small group instruction for both the below group and the above group. But overall, I'm pretty satisfied.